Tabitha. How have you been since we last met?
Um, I've been okay. I honestly haven't really been sleeping that well. I've been really nervous during the day and tired, and then when I go to sleep at night, I can't because I keep having these nightmares that are waking me up.
Yeah, so what have your nightmares been about?
Um, Honestly, they're all different, but they kind of have the same kind of thing happen in them. Just like same thing, different font, right? So last night, I had a dream. I was working at this pizza shop. I'm the only one who works there, mind you. Nobody's ever trained me on the job. This is my first day. I don't know how I got this job. It is a dream. And all of a sudden, all these orders start coming out. I don't know where the ingredients are for the pizzas. Nobody's there to help me. And they just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And I start trying to make the pizzas, but they're all imperfect. None of them are good, honestly. They were so bad. I couldn't get them right. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this screaming, booming voice over the loudspeaker starts telling me to make them right. And I started having a panic attack in my nightmare. I woke myself up like hyperventilating. Like it was really bad. And then I just really couldn't go to sleep again because I was afraid I was gonna have to go back to shift. I don't know. It was scary.
Yeah, that sounds really overwhelming and really scary, and that's a hard thing to have to deal with, especially in your dreams when you're going to sleep to feel at peace, and then you have this really startling nightmare that causes you to have a panic attack.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot to deal with. What? So sometimes our nightmares are reflections of things that are happening in our everyday life. So tell me more about that. How has your everyday life been going? How's your family? How's school? How are the fights with your parents going?
Yeah. Well, school's okay. You know how school is. I'm not the best at it. I'm not the worst. I'm not failing any of my classes, but my grades aren't really where they need to be. That actually kind of caused a fight with my parents the other night, and they got really mad at each other because I needed to get a signature for a grade because it wasn't so good. And you know how teachers get, they want the stupid signature, so your parents know that you did bad. And I knew they were going to get mad because they want me to be smarter, and I studied really hard, but the test just, I don't know, the test had questions I didn't know the answers to, so I didn't do good. And when I did that, my parents didn't get mad at me, but they did start fighting. And I don't know if they would have started fighting if I wouldn't have gotten that bad grade.
Yeah, that's definitely overwhelming. Feeling like you have to be perfect or that you are the cause of the fight.
Yeah.
So today I really want to talk about how thoughts, feelings, and behaviors affect our actions.
Okay.
So your thoughts, right? Your thought at the top is, what's your thought?
That if I did good, that my parents wouldn't fight as much if I were perfect.
Okay. And how does that make you feel?
I feel like that's impossible. I don't know how to be perfect. I try. It makes me feel like I have to try really hard, and like if I don't get it right, that they're gonna fight more.
Yeah.
And then I start getting really anxious.
Yeah. And then how do those feelings affect your behavior?
Well, maybe that's why I'm having nightmares, but it's definitely probably why I'm having panic attacks. Because I'm trying so hard to be perfect that I'm making myself so nervous that to not mess up.
Yeah, so it sounds like your inability in your head to be perfect for your parents is overall causing you a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of panic attacks.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And you feel like if you were perfect, your parents wouldn't have these fights. Tell me more about that. Why do you feel that way?
Well, I mean, they only seem to get in these fights, from what I see, when something happens with me. So that time it was because I got a bad grade. There's another time, I don't know, maybe last week or something. They wanted me to do the dishes, but my dad thought my mom told me. My mom thought my dad told me, and I didn't do them because nobody told me to do them, and it's not usually my job. I don't mind helping. That's not usually my job. I do other stuff. And so they thought they had told me, and then it didn't get done. And then my dad said, Tabitha, why aren't the dishes done? And I said, I can do them right now. And he was like, well, why didn't you do them before? And then immediately I'm feeling anxious because I was I supposed to do them before? And so then I'm like, oh, well, maybe I was. And I say, well, I didn't. That's not usually my job. And he said, well, your mom was supposed to tell you. And then I get really anxious because then I know he's going to get mad at my mom. And when he gets really mad at her, sometimes he throws things. And he hasn't hit me at all, but he does sometimes hit her with things. And if I just did the dishes, then that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. So it definitely sounds like because of the miscommunication between your parents, it caused for your dad to become angry at you and also become angry at your mom, which ultimately led to things being thrown and a fight happening right in front of you.
Yeah.
And that is what caused your panic attack on that particular day. So I want to redirect a little bit.
Okay.
I want you to just imagine, your parents don't fight.
Wow. Okay.
Parents don't fight. You've never witnessed them get physical with each other or verbal abuse, any of those things.
Okay.
But you have a friend, 12 years old, just like you. And in her household, her parents do fight. And her dad, sometimes he throws things at her mom, and it causes her a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, and she's having these reoccurring nightmares. And she comes to you and she says, I feel like if I were perfect, if I got good grades and I did the dishes and I came home on time every day, my parents would not fight because I was perfect at 12 years old, and this would cause them not to fight anymore. Tell me what you would tell your friend. What advice would you give her?
Well, I mean, she's just a kid, and there's no way she can be perfect. Well, really, I don't think anybody's perfect, even adults, so especially not a kid when you don't know how to do things. And it kind of just sounds like her parents just like to fight, and that they constantly put themselves in these situations, and that no matter what, they're going to find a reason to fight, and that it doesn't really have anything to do with her.
Yeah, that's great advice that you would give your friend. So for this upcoming week, this is what I want you to do.
Okay.
If your parents get into a fight, whether it's because you didn't do the dishes, or because you came home late for school, or you got a bad grade on the test, okay? And they began fighting. And they began verbally assaulting each other. And your dad throws something at your mom, right?
Yeah.
I want you to think about whether that actually has anything to do with you. And we can have these thoughts, we can have these feelings. We all are. We're human. That does not mean that the thoughts that you're having are 100% true.
It's just my brain telling me that.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So I want you to think about the advice you would give your friend.
Okay.
If your friend came to you and said this exact same thing. This exact same thing.
Okay.
And let's focus on redirecting our thoughts and thinking, this is not my fault. Because you're a kid. You're 12.
Yeah. It's the same as my friend.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you can redirect your thoughts and think, this is not my fault, how is that going to make you feel?
Honestly, I think I'll probably feel less nervous if it doesn't feel like I have to be perfect all the time, knowing that I can't be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then what do you think the outcome behavior would be from you feeling like you can't be perfect, and that's okay?
Well, hopefully I'll have less panic attacks. I'm definitely willing to give that a try.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
So today we were able to talk about how thoughts, feelings, and behaviors affect our actions.
Yeah.
And this week, you are going to work on redirecting your thoughts so we can redirect our feelings
And
we
have
can
better behaviors.
and have better behaviors.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then hopefully the nightmares will go away too.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then next week, we can reflect on whether this worked or not. And if it didn't, that's okay. We can find alternatives.
But it's going to work.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's going to work. And I'm glad you have such a positive mindset.
Cool. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Well, it was great talking to you, Tabitha. I'll see you next week, okay?
Okay, I'll see you then.